Hey guys, it's me, Dan Harkins. Today's the number 8 tip, and that tip is playing carefully and tactically. If you're playing team deathmatch, you can't just be rushing every single corner in place. This isn't, domination or demolition. You have to play a little bit more tactically. Like right here, I kind of shoot first before I round the corner. If any of you watched the tips there on the Xbox Insider, they talked about doing that, and I think that's actually one of the very few good tips that they gave people. It's really good to do that, as you're shooting, turn the corner, then you aim up, so you're hoping you get a few shots in them before you aim your shot, so it's faster, and I mean, it's a better way to do it than to turn the corner, not shooting, and then aiming down. Chances are you're gonna get killed. I mean, sleight of hand pro is probably gonna negate that effect, but it's something I don't like the chance. I am not a camper. Let me state this again. I am not a camper, but I don't really have the highest score per minute like pro games. I think it's like 2.4 all time, usually 270, weekly right there, because I like to take my time as I get to each place. I don't see any logic in rushing towards the enemies, just so I can get blasted and, completely destroyed. Playing tactically can help you, and, for new players that, they want to rush around, they want to, get as many kills as possible, I don't really advise doing that. Call of Duty, you die within, like, mere seconds. So you want to use your cover, you want to use your tactical grenades to the fullest potential. You want to check those corners. You want to constantly, be on top of things. There's nothing wrong with taking your time while you're moving. No, I'm not saying you should stay in one spot the whole game with a motion sensor and waiting for people. I dislike camping, and, many people do. If you want to, camp, if that's how you want to play, you paid your 60 or whatever the fuck money you paid for it. Play however you like, but, I believe that, it gets boring waiting on one spot forever. So, taking your time. I do a lot of diving to go to prone right there, just so I can, have that shot. Because people come down there, they're expecting to see, someone standing there, shooting. I like to lay down. It's less of a target, but it falls in the category of drop shotting, which I think is a decent technique. Very, seldom do I do it, but knowing how to do it right can save your life a few times, but most of the time ends up with you becoming the enemy's, headshot, for their, total kills with the headshots right there. So when I play the game, I really like to take my time. I look at my map, I see how my teammates are doing. I'm listening to the sounds in the game right there, and then I kind of base how I'm gonna play. I try to use a lot of cover, and I try to turn around as much as possible. Turning around can save your life right there, and that's something you really should aim at doing, I believe. So, playing carefully, how do you do it? Well, if you understand the maps, understand how enemies are going to behave, you can really, situate your style to playing that. As I said, I don't camp. I do move consistently forward, but I know when I need to hang back and kind of secure a position. Keyword is secure. That means I'm not staying in a corner. I kind of roam around, like in a circle, constantly checking my back here. I guess you could say I'm kind of paranoid. If you've played Call of Duty at all, the spawns are terrible, and I just cannot stand being killed from behind. And that is why I've implemented, always checking my back throughout the game. You see it a lot, like I'll be going up somewhere and they'll just, I'll always, take a look back and see what's going on, just so I can stop people from killing me. Another thing you want to do when you're playing is give it your all when you're playing tactically. There may be some situations that you run into where you think, hey, there's no way I can do this. Don't give up. I don't like giving up and I do sometimes give up, and I fucking hate it. Don't give up. Just give it your best shot. No matter how grim the game may look for team deathmatch, you're gonna be in some positions where it looks like you're fucked, but you may be the key person on the team that can turn that around and turn that almost defeat to a win, and maybe get some hate mail after, since, you know, the enemy team's like, how the fuck did you do that? There's a lot of cover in this game, but, you know, some maps, it seems like the cover wasn't, you know, placed smartly. Like, it's either too far away, you can't get to it fast enough, or it's just illogically put in a place that, you know, you're not really gonna be at. But, you know, moving around, keeping your back to the walls are, you know, essential skills you want to use when you're playing team deathmatch. Get used to using cover. I mean, if you're moving with your back to the wall, I mean, that is gonna prevent from enemies from getting behind you and killing you. You don't want that. And nothing sucks. You know, you're on a good kill streak. You know, you're about to get a chopper gun or dogs, or, you know, whatever kill streak you're about to get, and then you're fucking dead. And then you're like, go get it! That one, get it! Fuck! You know, something I would probably say. You always want to be thinking how you're moving, watching your teammates, and playing carefully, which is my style. If you can rush around, kill people, you know, go for it. You want to play to have fun as well. Don't forget, people, this is a game. But, you know, I don't see anything wrong with, you know, improving your skills and getting better. Hopping, not something I use too often, but sometimes can catch the enemy off guard and throw off their aim. Usually new players are more prone to, you know, getting tricked, but more aggressive veteran players, it's not something I would actually suggest, as we can see here. Don't be too in a hurry of throwing flash grenades, you know, right while you're there, guys, because that can lead to you getting killed. And I can say a lot of my deaths come from me just throwing a concussion and being completely open. Don't leave yourself open. Be careful, and you know, stay calm when you're firing. Don't freak out if you see 4 people. Just take your time and pick them off. That's the best tip I can give you right now, guys. Thanks for watching.